Alright, and we're back. So without further ado, let's spin and see what the second deck we're playing is today. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Oh, we just narrowly dodged E-Tron, folks. Martyr Proc. Alright, so this is Martyr Proc, and the deck gets its name from Martyr of Sands and Proclamation of Rebirth, which isn't actually in the deck anymore, but Abiding Grace is very similar. So, Martyr of Sands is a 1-mana 1/1, and it says, pay 1, reveal X white cards from your hand, and sack Martyr of Sands to gain 3 times X life. So you can gain a bunch of life off the Martyr of Sands. And Abiding Grace is a 3-mana enchantment that says at your end step you can either gain a life or you can return a creature with value 1 from your graveyard to the battlefield, which means you can return Martyr of Sands and keep sacking it every turn to gain absolutely absurd amounts of life. And if for whatever reason that crazy amount of life isn't enough to keep you in the game, there's also Kami of False Hope, which is a fog that you can keep bringing back. You also have Thraben Inspector, which makes clues. You've got your own Haywire Mites that you can use to keep killing things. 2 March of Otherworldly Light to interact. Squadron Hawk to fetch all the other Squadron Hawks, which in this deck is really good because then you can Martyr of Sands them, and you can also Solitude the extra Squadron Hawks. Call of the Ring is a black splash in this deck, not strictly necessary, but hey, if we're going to be gaining tons of life anyway, it seems perfectly fine to have a pay life draw engine. A Binding Grace, of course. Ranger Captain of Eos, which can go fetch any of the 1-drops that you need. Skyclave Apparition to do Skyclave things. 1 Sarah Paragon to get stuff back. The 1 Ring, of course. Solitudes. And an Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines. And then I've taken the liberty of cutting 2 lands from the deck to play Eagles of the North. Sideboard, 2 more March of Otherworldly Light, Wrath of God, a 4th Skyclave Apparition, Reprieve, Hallowed Moonlight, Surgical, Wheel of Sun and Moon, because we want a rest in peace effect, but we don't actually want to kill our own graveyard. An additional Haywire Mite, and an Ulamog for mill or games that are going to go really long. Mana base, pretty standard. Originally, there was a 2nd Demolition Field and another Plains. I cut both of those for the 2 Eagles. We'll see if that's any use. Demo Field and Field of Ruin are important for beating decks like Tron, because this life gain plan has no effect on them. And 2 Emiria the Sky Ruin for also late game recursion. So anyways, let us go ahead and jump into the second league of the day with Martyr Proc. Alright, game 1 on the play with Martyr Proc. We have 2 Solitudes and a Call of the Ring. This seems not very good, so we will mold this. This also doesn't seem very good, but I think it's probably better than going to 5. So I will keep this and throw back a Plains, I guess. Opponent has mulled to 5. Alright, let's play Emiria the Sky Ruin and pass the turn. Marsh Flat sack, gets Overgrown Tomb, shocked. Plays Viscera Seer. Okay, so we appear to be playing against the Foodristocat deck, in all likelihood. I can just march this immediately, I suppose. That might just be the best option. Alright, I'm gonna just play this, pass, and see if they do anything else. And if they don't, I'll just march that. Urza's Saga. Okay, maybe not. I'm not sure. I don't think that deck plays Urza's Saga. I guess I could have marched the Saga as well. Alright, yeah, let's just march the Saga now. Fetch. Get our 1 copy of Godless Shrine or Temple Garden. It might be more relevant to have green for Haywire Mite, but I guess we can do that later. So let's just grab Godless Shrine for now. Alright, Plains, and then I don't need to Skyclave this. Let's just go Ranger Captain. And honestly, probably Haywire Mite if they're an Urza's Saga deck. So I should have just grabbed Temple Garden last turn. Temple Garden of their own. I still suspect they're the cat deck and they're just playing Urza's Saga as well. Back to us. Alright, I will Skyclave this now. So, Skyclave your Viscera Seer. They are sacking it in response. They scried 1 to the top. Alright, attack with Ranger Captain. Another Urza's Saga. And they're playing Academy Manufactor. Alright, so they're a food deck of some variety. Ooh, Squadron Hawk. Now let's just eat this with Skyclave. Kill this thing. Combat, swing with both of these guys. And back to the opponent. Plays a tapped Blooming Marsh. And would appear to be passing back to us. Okay. Another Squadron Hawk. That's unfortunate. Well, let's just attack with everything. Swing, swing, swing. No blocks. Alright, Squadron Hawk. Then trigger. Let's go get the other remaining Hawks in the deck. Okay. And let's play Haywire Mite. And then we'll just pass the turn. They make a Construct. They just float the mana. Alright. What are they fetching? Shadow Spear. Another land. They play another Academy Manufactor. They still seem very dead on the board. Gilded Goose. I guess I'm just going to Solitude this now. Exile a Hawk. Alright. We have got the game. So they are some kind of artifact enchantment food deck. So let's bring in the other Haywire Mite. What else? March. The other Skyclave. We are unlikely to be playing a long, grindy game against them, I suppose. So I could probably afford to cut some of these call the rings, maybe, or run rings. If they're going to beat us, it's not going to be through... Like, they're going to have ways of eating our Abiding Graces. So this, like, fog plan is not going to work. So let's just cut Martyrs. And that's probably fine. Let's just cut all the Martyrs. All right, submit. We've got one land and a cycling. So we have 2 lands, sort of. This hand seems really slow. It's hard to interact with the opponent with it. Let's mull. Well, only 1 land in this hand, so let's mull again. All right, keep. And let's put back what? I need all my mana. I need... So, okay, this Abiding Grace is not going to do much for us this game. Or at least with this opening hand. And probably the Thraben as well. And just rely on these 2. Yeah, throw that back. All right, done. Opponent plays a forest and then passes to us. Field of Ruin. All right, so the first thing I want to do is cycle for a Temple Garden. So let's just play this untapped and pass it back to the opponent. Urza's Saga. And they're not doing anything, so let's plain cycle this. Go find Temple Garden. All right, nothing to do here, so let's play Myria tapped, pass it back. Urza's Saga goes to 2 counters. They play Overgrown Tomb Shocked. All right, let's cycle this for our other shock land, grabbing Godless Shrine. And then on my turn, I think I'm just going to immediately field pop that instead of playing Ranger Captain. So yeah, Field of Ruin, kill this. They make a construct, but that's fine. We prevent them from making another construct or fetching anything. All right, pass it back. All right, swing with the construct for 1. We go to 19, and then what are they following up with? Deadly Dispute to sack the construct and draw some cards and make a treasure. Plays another land, fetches, shocks in a Temple Garden, plays their own Ranger Captain. You get Cauldron Familiar, so it is the cat combo deck. Well, unfortunately, there's no way of disrupting that right now, so let's just Ranger Captain and grab Haywire Might, probably. Yeah, Haywire Might. Shock this in, cast Haywire Might, pass it back. So if they actually deploy their combo, then I will try to Skyclave it on my turn. I'm definitely popping this Urza's Saga. Opponent Besageu's our Emeria. Very well. Grab a Plains. Asmo. Oh, because the Besageu channel counts. All right, well, I'm Skyclaving the Asmo. Prismatic Ending on our Haywire Might. All right. Cookbook. And then I guess they're going to pass it back to us, probably. Yeah. So I Skyclave the Asmo, or I go Ranger Captain, go get another Might, kill Urza's Saga. I think I just got to eat this Asmo before it gets online to start shooting our guys down. So let's just play Skyclave, kill Asmo off, and then 100% I'll attack them. Swing. All right, they take some damage, play this tapped. Unfortunately, we're not in a good position at all, because they can make a construct this turn at the very least. All right, Saga goes up to 2 counters. We can get rid of it next turn, but it's still a problem for now. They sack Ranger Captain. Okay, that probably means they just have the combo. 4 mana for Finale X's 2 to get Sam. Okay. Viscera Seer, do they have... But they don't have another mana, right? Oh, they can discard the cat to the cookbook, and then they can do the combo. Yeah, all right, they got it. Game 3. Do I want Wheel of Sun and Moon for their graveyard? That's a way for... It stops their cat combo. There's also Hallowed Moonlight, which also stops their cat combo. They also have cookbook, so they have recursion type stuff as well. What am I cutting? Thraben Inspectors definitely feel mediocre here. We're playing a combo deck, so the body doesn't matter. So it's like 3 mana to draw a card. It's pretty mediocre. Yeah, cut all that. Wheel. We don't need more than 1 wheel, though. So wheel, Hallowed Moonlight. Surgical is also an answer. But I want everything else in the deck. No, let's try that. Submit. On the play for game 3. Land. No second land. All right, mulligan. All right, I guess I'm keeping this, as weak as it is. So keep this and put one of these Solitudes back, I suppose. Or do I just put Skyclave back? Now let's put Solitude back. So if I put Solitude back, I'm going to go land, then next turn I'll have 7 cards, and I Squadron Hawk. Yeah, put one of the Solitudes back. All right, Temple Garden tapped, go. Verdant Catacombs, crack. Overgrown Tomb, shock. Cauldron Familiar, All right, play another land. Let's fetch. Let's get the Godless Shrine. Let's play Squadron Hawk. Trigger this. Use the ability, get all the remaining Hawks, and pass the turn. Second land, fetch. Gets a Plains. And then they're, I guess, just going to pass to us probably. All right, back to us. Another land. So attack with the Hawk. Swing Demo Field, play Skyclave, and Skyclave this cat. They're responding with Deadly Dispute. All right, back to them. Another land. They fetch, get Temple Garden, shock it in. They play Ranger Captain. Very well. Finding Viscera Seer. So I guess I just keep bashing in with this Hawk for now, right? Let's just deploy 2 Hawks and then continue to bash in. Swing with Hawk. Then go to 12, and let's play 2 more hawks. Second, third hawk. All right, back to them. Sacks Ranger Captain, so they're trying to combo off this turn, but we can Solitude through that. Cookbook. Plays Sam. Sacks the treasure for Viscera Seer. Now let's just kill Sam. Eat the Sam. And now their board is just going to be a Viscera Seer. And they can discard a card to bring the cat back. All right, combat. Swing all. Discarding Oval Chase, so they have infinite cat blocks now. Sack the food, bring the cat back. And they're going to chump here, I guess. And then sack the Viscera Seer to scry. And then go to damage. They gained life, so they're only going down to 12. All right, let's just kill Overgrown Tomb, I guess. Sack, kill that. Yeah, let's just kill this one as well. All right, they're out of basics to fetch. But they do still win if they have a Sam. They attack with the Viscera Seer. Sure. We go to 14. Back to us. Ooh, there's a Myria. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still a ways away. All right, well, just attack with everything. Swing, 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 swing. Then they're going to do the same cat shenanigans. Discard, Oval Chase, bring the cat back. Then they block, then they sack the Viscera Seer to scry. Then damage, they go to 10. I will just play this fetch land and pass the turn. They found Verdant Catacombs and are fetching for a Temple Garden. Academy Manufactor. Well, that's going to be a problem. So they make 3 of the things. Opponent is pondering what to do here, I suppose. So their hand is Oval Chase, Daredevil, 3 unknowns. All right, Clue, Food, Treasure Token. All right, fetch, because I don't want to draw more. Grab this Plains. Ooh, the Ring. We still lose to the combo, though. But let's get the Ring into play. Trigger, draw card. Hallowed Moonlight. Excellent draw. All right, play a Myria, and then let's just attack in the air. They can just cat loop every single turn anyway, so no reason to keep attacking with Skyclave. I guess I can Moonlight in response, but I want to wait for them to try doing it. All right, so they just didn't do it. Well, they can keep getting crazy value out of their Manufactor, but we do have the ability to stop their combo. Cracks a Clue to draw. All right, Daredevil, make a bajillion things. Opponent casts Asmo. That's a problem. They have 2 foods currently, and they're going to go get in a cookbook, and then they'll have 3 foods and more treasures and clues. So this Ring has to draw us out of this pretty quickly. Yep, more stuff. Thankfully, all the cards on our board right now are actually kind of crappy, but they are at 4 life, so these Hawks do pose a risk to them. 6 damage to a Hawk, sure. Then back to us. All right, Ring, we go to 11. Skyclave, so we can Skyclave, Asmo, or Manufactor. All right, let's draw. Sarah Paragon. So I have 4, 5, 6. So this is the 7th Plains. And then I can do what? I have 8 mana. So I can go Sarah Paragon, play back another thing. I need Asmo off the field before I do that, though. So let's go Skyclave, kill Asmo. Then they'll just sack Asmo. Yeah, sack Asmo to scry. And then I'm not playing Sarah Paragon this turn because I need to hold Hallowed Moonlight up. So combat, swing with the Hawks, swing, swing. So let's put them to 2. And then pass the turn. Yeah, Daredevil, sure. Make a bunch of stuff. Cookbook, Daredevil, make a bunch of stuff. Opponent sacks a treasure. I guess they're casting Coco. Prismatic Ending on the Ring. Yeah, all right. Another Asmo. All right, well, Myria gets Solitude back next turn. So another Cookbook, even more value. So they can kill 2 creatures now. Brings the cat back. How many times can they do this? Oh, they're playing a cat or they're bringing it back? They're just playing a cat. Okay. Yep, and then we take damage. So they can do this 4 more times. Asmo, kill a bird. Asmo, kill the other bird. Now they're out of food. All right, well, back to us. Myria trigger, get Solitude. Solitude returns, kill Asmo off. And then they'll sack it to Viscera Seer. Then draw for turn. It's another land. Okay, so attacking, they don't have any food right now. So let's just swing with the Skyclaves. They get free blocks on them for the most part, right? Or just completely. All right, attack with the Skyclaves. Swing and swing. They have to block them to some degree, so cat, Manufactor. All right, and then they'll just sack the cat, scry. All right, main phase 2, Sarah Paragon. And then playing more Hawks doesn't seem that useful. Let's just get back Field of Ruin and field their only source of black mana, except for they have treasures, but what are you going to do? All right, Greta Plains. They're out of lands. Best we can do for now, and just hold up Hallowed Moonlight. Problem is they can do all this stuff at instant speed as well. So if they get Sam, there's no way for us to stop their combo. Although if they don't find it this turn, they are dead, I believe. They can gain some life off these cats. They might not be completely dead. All right, draw a card with a clue. Discarding with the Cookbook. Again, Oval Chase. More value. Just absolutely crazy value. Yep. Maybe I was supposed to just play a Hawk last turn. Treasure. Draw with a clue. Treasure. 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 Prismatic on Sarah Paragon. All right. They have 2 different cats, right? They've got 2 cats in their graveyard and 3 foods. Emeria, get a hawk back, I guess. It's the only viable target. We drew Elish Norn, which stops their combo. Awesome. Get Norned, opponent. So if they want the cat triggers, they have to do it now. All right, cat number 1. I will respond to that cat with Moonlight. I'm not going to get a better time to cast it than now, I think. And then they have to sack their last food token to get it back. No, they just let us go through with this, eh? Cauldron Familiar gets exiled. Norn. Now what? I can play Abiding Grace, but it doesn't do anything. The alternative is just to field one of their lands. All right, so combat. Swing, swing, swing. Block here, block here. And then they're going to sack both of them to scry. Or to sack one of them to scry. They can keep their Manufactor. All right, well, let's just Field of Ruin one of their lands. I believe we have 1 plains left in the deck. All right, pass the turn. Hopefully this Norn is good enough to just stop their combo. Although they have Prismatic Ending and they can make treasures, so they can actually get up to the 5 colors they need to kill Norn off. So then they do all of their cookbook shenanigans. Draw with a clue. Cookbook again. They have 1 treasure token and they can make 1 more. So even if they have Sam, they can't get the Cauldron trigger to go off. All right, we got there. First win with Martyr Proc. On to round number 2. All right, round number 2 on the play with Martyr Proc. Hand looks decent. Keep this. We've got turn 1 into turn 2 into turn 3 into the ring. Oh, but we've got Emeria the Sky Rune as one of the lands. That's a bit awkward. All right, let's just go fetch, shock, or shock in Temple Garden, play Inspector, and pass. Opponent plays a Windswept Heath. All right, back to us. So best move now is probably play Emeria, cycle for another land, and then Captain next turn on curve. Attack with Thraben Inspector. Opponent takes 1 down to 19. Then we'll play Emeria and pass the turn. Opponent fetches, gets Savai Triome, so we're probably playing Elementals. Wooded Foothills. Yep, there's the run in 6 mana, as I presume. There it is. All right, cycle this. Let's grab Godless Shrine. No, let's grab... I can always grab it later. Just grab a Plains. All right, Plains, Ranger Captain. In this matchup, I'm overwhelmingly going to want Haywire Might for Leyline Bindings and all kinds of other stuff. So Haywire Might, combat, attack, run in 6. Another land, fetch. You get a Plains, so no Teferi mana. Ancient Stirrings. Wow, okay. Well, it can find the ring. They found Temple Garden. Run in 6 picks a land up. 2 mana for Leyline Binding. All right. On Ranger Captain, sure. Back to us. So now I'm just going to play with the ring. Or do I just Haywire Might? The ring has got to be better. So let's attack Run in 6 and then play the ring. And let's draw with it now before they find answers to it. All right, pass the turn. 4th land. It's Breeding Pool. Teferi Time Raveler. Okay. Bounces the ring back to our hand. Run in 6, tick up, get a land back. Red to bolt Thraben Inspector. All right. So probably correct to just deploy the ring again. It's just sad that I don't have the mana to get my Ranger Captain back because I do need to kill their walkers off. Yeah, let's just play the ring again. All right, draw with the ring. We drew Call of the Ring. So let's go land, fetch, plains, play Thraben Inspector, and then pass it back. Opponent plays Nissa Resurgent Animist, then gets the landfall triggers for a mana, get the other one, and go find an elemental. They've fetched a mountain. They revealed Omnath. They play Omnath. It's Fairy Plus. Run in 6 gets a land back. And then they discard a land. All right. Ring. We go to 16. All right. So I want to kill Omnath. I also want to get my Ranger Captain out of under the Leyline Binding. Well, I'm definitely drawing. So let's draw. Another ring. So play this. Let's fetch and shock Godless Shrine in. Can't be blocked by creatures with greater power is the first move. So I could just cast Solitude to eat this. Probably better to just deploy as much as possible to the field and Solitude exile Omnath. Nissa also finds more Omnaths though anyway. It's pretty rough. I have 6 mana. I can go Hawk, Haywire Might. That leaves me with 3 left. I'm going to pop Haywire Might on their turn. That leaves me with 2 left. I play Call of the Ring. Attack to Fairy for 1. Solitude eats that. Oh, it's only upkeep the ring tempts you. Okay, I do want to get the ring down though. So Ring, Squadron Hawk, use ability, grab all the other Hawks, evoke Solitude, kill off Omnath, play Haywire Might, and pass. Run in 6, ping a Hawk, sure. Fairy ticks up. Nissa trigger, then they fetch, and then they'll get another hit off of Nissa. Tap land, Nissa, what do you get? They got Omnath, all right. Omnath returns, trigger Omnath to draw a card. Delighted Halfling. All right, over to us. Let's eat Leyline Binding. So Leyline Binding out, Ranger Captain returns, then we use his ability and go get, I guess at this point, Thraben Inspector. Now they're going to Leyline Binding again, take our ring, right? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Untap, call the ring trigger. I'm probably going to wind up sacking this Ranger Captain at some point. Maybe not. I can, if I choose it, then Omnath can't block it, and they have to trade with Nissa in order to block it. So that's probably the better choice. All right, choose Ranger Captain, then pay the life to draw. Ooh, Skyclave as well. So I can Skyclave and Solitude both their guys, and can't actually attack the fairy without them blocking. We have another ring as well. So I want to get this new ring down. So that's 4, and then that doesn't leave me enough mana to kill both of these. I do want to kill both of these though. So let's say I go Martyr, sack, gain a bunch of life. Solitude, eat Omnath, attack to fairy. They have to trade here if they want, or no, they don't. They can just chump with the halfling. I guess I don't have to Martyr right now. So I go Skyclave. I'm still down a card is the problem. All right, so let's just play the ring and see what we draw. All right, draw with the ring. Field of Ruin, so it's a land at least. And let's go Skyclave, eat Nissa, evoke Solitude. Or no, I guess I don't. So this can't be blocked, right? Your Ring Bearer is legendary. It can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So combat, attack to fairy. Attack to fairy. They have an answer to this? Green. Beseiju or Emiria. Sure. All right, get a plains. Block there. Very well. All right, evoke Solitude. Pitching Squadron Hawk. Kill Omnath. Play Thraben Inspector. Pass to the opponent. They do have 6 cards in their hand, though, and plenty of mana. They can also get Beseiju back, although I don't know to what degree that's useful for them. To fairy bouncing Skyclave. Very well. I'm fine if they just have a 3/3 illusion. 4 mana for Karn. Karn minuses. Worm Coil Engine, which they can't play right now. That's really the best they could get. That's not going to be an issue. Plays a tap land. Renin 6 picks Beseiju back up. Beseiju's our Field of Ruin. Very well. Grab a plains. All right, so back to us. Both these go off. Call of the Ring. So choose, continue to choose. Let's see, I can't actually get this off the field right now, so let's just choose Thraben Inspector as our Ring Bearer. Then draw a card. 1 ring. All right, so I can Solitude this, attack Karn to death, or I can just attack Renin 6 to death, and then I can Skyclave the Karn. But I have 7 mana to do that, so I would have to evoke Solitude again in order to do that. All right, draw with the ring. Oh, I can't draw with the ring, right? So Skyclave. Let's say I evoke, kill this. Now let's do that. So Martyr of Sands, activate Martyr of Sands, reveal this, 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 and this. Up to 22. Then we will go Skyclave. I want to get both of these out of here, right? So that means attacking, that means Skyclaving here, attacking Karn to death. Yeah. So evoke, get rid of Kamiya False Hope, kill the illusion token, then go to combat. This attacks Karn, these attack them. Loot away Squadron Hawk. Damage, Karn dies, then we draw with the ring. Then I will Skyclave, run in 6, and then play Emiria and pass the turn. If they want to play Worm Coil, it takes their whole turn to do it. All right, Beseiju, they had another one, so yep, use that. Go get another land. Shocks in Temple Garden, and they're going to drop Worm Coil. All right, and that was all they're doing. Let's crack a clue. All right, back to us. Abilities go off. Choose Ranger Captain. No, I might block and sack. It depends. Probably not. I'm just going to find an answer to this. All right, choose Ranger Captain as my Ring Bearer. Draw a card. Then draw a card for turn. Then draw cards with the ring. So in order to march this, I have to spend how much? 7 mana to kill this? What does Abiding Grace get me back? Martyr of Sands, right? So it's this much mana to kill it. Or I go March, Exile, Skyclave Apparition, then play Abiding Grace. Or I could just drop another ring. That might be better for this turn. So drop a new ring. Keep the new ring. I guess I can attack into them without issue. Combat. Attack with Ranger Captain. Loot. Discard a fetch land. Then I can pop one of their lands. I can pop their black land and play Abiding Grace. Pop this. Last plane's in our deck. And then play Abiding Grace. I guess I'll draw with the ring. Alright. Then go to my end step. Trigger this. Get back Martyr of Sands. And pass back to the opponent. Opponent immediately cast Omnath. We are also running out of cards in our deck. Trigger. Fetch. Gets a land. Alright, they shock. Omnath does Omnath things. Karn. Karn minuses. Get to the ring. But they're not going to play it? No, they are going to play it. Utopia Sprawl. No, they're not going to play it. Alright. Alright, Ranger Captain is still my Ring Bearer. And draw a card. Then the ring triggers. Alright, first things first. Attack Karn. Red. Bolt the Ranger Captain. Alright, sack this. Pass through combat with no attacks. And then let's go Skyclave. Now let's sack Martyr of Sands first. Reveal this, 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 and this. Gain a whole bunch of life. Then let's Skyclave. Kill Karn off. Draw some cards. Alright, land. And then let's march this thing. So I have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thraben Inspector. X is 6. All right, exile Wormcoil. Probably just exile Omnath as well, right? Yeah. All right, go to my end step and trigger Abiding Grace. Return Martyr of Sands to the field. Then pass back to the opponent. So they have 3 cards. Play another Utopia Sprawl. They have a ring of their own. They draw with the ring. Delighted Halfling. All right, these go on the stack. I will choose Thraben Inspector as my ring bearer. And then we'll draw a card. We are actually at risk of decking out. Take 2 from the ring. We can't attack them this turn, so let's draw. There's Sarah Paragon. So Sarah Paragon. Let's play Emiria from the graveyard. And then play Martyr. Play Ranger Captain, even though it's not going to fetch anything. Yeah, I'm not going to fetch anything with it. And then let's just go to the end step, get our Haywire Might back, and exile their ring. Return Haywire Might. Kill their ring. Actually, I don't even need to kill their ring. I can just do it in response to them trying to tap. Upkeep. They will draw a card off of it, I suppose, but that's fine. I just need to kill them before I deck. Leyline Binding. Targeting the Haywire Might. Alright, well, let's eat your ring, I guess. They tap in response, draw 2 cards. Play another Halfling. And looks like it's back to us. Alright, no more card drawing. Emiria, bring back Haywire Might. Call of the Ring. Choose a creature as my ring bearer. This one. Do not draw a card. Take 3 from the ring. Alright. Combat. Swing, 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 swing. Double block this to get an illusion. Sure. That happens. They go to 4. They make an illusion. What can I cast from my graveyard? Solitude? Or just Emiria? Play Emiria. I'm just going to play this ring so I don't keep taking damage. And then go to the end step, trigger this, return Thraben Inspector. Opponent plays a land. I don't think they have anything, so we're just going to beat them in. All right, all this stuff goes on the stack. Bring back Eagles of the Watch, and then this one brings back Solitude. All right, use the ability. Solitude, you're delighted. Then the other one comes back, use its ability. Eagle triggers, pumping the team. Choose a creature that just came in as my ring bearer because I'm not attacking with it anyway. Don't draw. Ring trigger. Combat. Swing, 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 swing. All right, damage. All right, that was game 1, incredibly. So let's see. Elementals. The second Haywire Might. What else? Reprieve. They do have a bunch of expensive cards to cast, like Karn, Omnath, etc. So we can play Reprieve. These games go friggin' forever, so I can play Ulamog. I want to exile all their stuff, so Skyclave comes in. What do I not want? Kami, I don't need all these Martyrs because the games go super long, but I do still probably want 1 Martyr. March is okay. Oh, what else? Thraben Inspector's pretty mediocre in the matchup. I guess I can Wheel of Sun and Moon them so that they can't loop Wrenn and 6 stuff. Just that doesn't seem that good, though. So yeah, let's run this, I suppose. All right, submit. And now I've got to beat them in a pretty short amount of time. 1 land, not going to cut it. Mulligan. 2 lands, that's still really not going to cut it. I don't have anything I can play. All right, Mold of 5. Sure, keep this. Put back Godless and a basic Plains. Done. Wooded Foothills, crack. Temple Garden. Playing Utopia Sprawl. All right, back to us. Land, go. Opponent plays Wrenn and 6. Fetch. Let's get Temple Garden. This one, Squadron Hawk, even though it's just going to get picked off, but that's fine. Use the ability, grab all the other Hawks in the deck. Pass. Steam Vents. Tapped. Back to us. All right, I'll just keep playing these Hawks, I suppose. Now let's Field Ruin this. Fetch. Godless Shrine. Kill that. Get a Plains. Go. Opponent picks a land up. Back to us. Land. Play the ring. Resolve. No draws while they have Binding up. Opponent fetches. Wrenn and 6 picks a land up. All right, try to draw on the end step. Binding, sure. We just play 2 Hawks. Play the other Hawk. They fetch. They get Stomping Ground. Tapped. Wrenn and 6 picks a Hawk off. Tap land. Back to us. Combat. Attack Wrenn and 6. All right, land. Fetch. We'll put Elish Norn into play. Pass the turn. So now they have to have Prismatic to get rid of this. Or Teferi, I guess. Ring. They do not get the Fog. Draw a card. Plays a land tapped. All right, let's attack Wrenn and 6. And then I'm just going to pass, and I'll march their ring if they try to draw with it again. Nissa. Okay. It never gets any triggers, so that's fine. Okay. Never triggers. All right, march this. Opponent plays Omnath. They can't draw a card. Very well. All right. Cast Solitude. Kill both of these. Then attack with Norn. They go to 16. It's their turn. Back to us. All right. Go to combat. Swing, swing. They just have nothing. All right. Play Hawk. Do not use the ability. Don't use the ability. Play Martyr of Sands. Pass back. Opponent has Teferi. All right. So they can get Norn off the board for the turn. Sure. Fury. All right, let's at least gain some life. All right, gain some life off Martyr since it's going to die anyway. All right, slam Norn again. Pass it back. Fairy pluses. They don't attack. All right, so let's just Solitude Fury out of the way. Kill the Fury. Then combat. Kill Teferi off. And pass it back. Opponent has 7 cards, and we've got 2.5 minutes to beat them. Back to us. Combat. Swing and swing. Opponent has a Bolt for Solitude. Sure. Take 4 from Norn. Haywire Might. Eat this. We get our ring back. Draw a card. Play Field of Ruin. Play Abiding Grace. Trigger this. Return Haywire Might to play. Opponent is Besageing our Temple Garden. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Pass back to the opponent. Seems they're not doing anything. All right. Ring trigger. Draw a card. Play a land. Combat. Swing, swing. Play Emiria. Oh, I already did that. All right. So let's just kill their lands off. Kill off these Triomes. And then I'm just going to play Skyclave with no target. And let's just go to the end step. Trigger this. Get back Martyr of Sands and pass it back to them. Opponent, Ancient Stirrings. Gets Beseiju. Sure. All right, we won. It was grueling, but we got there. 2-0 with Martyr Proc. On to round number 3. All right, round 3 on the play with Martyr Proc. We have 2 lands. This is decent. I do need to draw more lands, but I can get there, so I will keep. All right, Plains, Thraben Inspector. Go ahead. All right, we do our other land. I think it's still probably correct to just draw with this clue rather than play Squadron Hawk, so maybe that's not correct. All right, attack with Thraben Inspector. Blood Crypt tells me it's probably an Orcish Bowmaster's deck, so I do want to get this stuff on curve. Let's fetch. I guess I don't want to draw Squadron Hawks if I can avoid it. All right, Plains, Squadron Hawk. It's tough between which one you want to get. Hits the field, use the ability, grab the other 3, and pass. Opponent bolts us. Plays Arid Mesa, cracks. Sacred Foundry. All right, so it's not Scam, or if it's Scam, they're playing white. Searing Blaze. It's burn, but has black mana in it. Okay. Fetch. Well, we're going to go fetch Martyr of Sands now, so it's probably game over. Martyr of Sands. Attack with the Squadron Hawk. All right, on to them. Sunbait Canyon. So they're probably just splashing black for bump in the night or something. Lava Spike us down to 9. So the only way that they prevent us from gaining a ton of life is with Skullcrack. All right, go to combat. Attack with both of these guys. Orcish Bowmasters. All right, so they're going to Bowmasters, kill the Hawk, and then chump with the Orc token. All right, still attacking. No, they're just not going to block. All right. Well, since they didn't prevent the Martyr of Sands, let's just do this now before they get anything else down and gain 10 bajillion life. Play this and fetch another Plains and then just play Squadron Hawk. So they're splashing black for Orcish Bowmasters. What has this format come to? All right, I'll block this. Take 1, go 22. Scare the Critics, us. We're at 19. They have 2 cards left. White and red. Boros Charm. We're at 15. Okay. Land, attack with the Ranger Captain, play the ring, draw a card. All right, go. They sack Sunbait Canyon, Blackcleave Cliffs. All right, I'm going to march this token. Back to us. We take 1 from the ring. Combat. Swing. Let's draw, and if they Bowmaster in response, I just march it. Yeah, okay. Draw. No. All right. Well, Abiding Grace is completely game over for them. Abiding Grace. Take that, burn. The nightmare matchup. All right, Haywire Might gains life. What else? I can reprieve their burn spells back to their hand, but their burn spells are mostly cheap, so I don't want to have something like this that just pays life. Skyclave eats their dudes. That's probably fine. What else would I cut if I wanted to put March of Otherworldly Light back in? Elish Norn's probably pretty slow, but it does stop Bowmaster's ETB trigger, but that's it. Yeah, Norn's too slow. Let's put March back to 3rd March, and that's probably fine. Submit. I mean, we've got Fog and gain 15 life loops. There's just no way. Thraben Inspector, Solitude, Ranger Captain looks fine. Keep. Bloodstained, fetch, Shocks and Blood Crypt. All right, so they do have Goblin Guides. Do I Solitude this? I think I actually do. All right, die Goblin Guide. Play Emiria, go. They shock in another Blood Crypt and play Roiling Vortex. Well, we can just eat that, so that's fine. All right, let's Windswept, and we're going to go get Temple Garden. Behold, they are at less life than we are. Let's say Mire. Lava Spike us, sure. All right, fetch, Temple Garden, back to us. This pings us, that's fine. Land, Skyclave, eat this. They fetch, get a Sacred Foundry, shock it in. Is this the Bowmasters? No. Searing Blaze to, oh, Skullcrack us, okay. Land, black, Roiling Vortex again. All right, take a damage from Vortex, huh. All right, land, let's attack them, swing, then Ranger Captain, trigger, go grab Haywire Might, Play Haywire Might. Back to you, opponent. Red, bolt us. Okay. Do I need to stop them? They only have one card in hand. I don't know. The easiest way for us to lose is just to get burned out here. So let's just not do that. All right. They have to have 2 burn spells, but they could easily have that. So sack Ranger Captain. I also need to prevent my Haywire from being killed. All right. They're at 10. We're at 7. They have 2 cards in hand. They can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Goblin Guide. Well, that's rough. What are we getting? A Demolition Field. So if I block, I just can't get the Vortex off the field. And then I go to 5. So I go to 5, then upkeep, target this. They prevent us from gaining the life. So we're at 4. And then I don't have the mana to cast Solitude. That's pretty rough. All right, no blocks. We go to 5. Back to us. So that trigger is going to resolve regardless. Ooh, Kami of False Hope. So combat, swing here. So there's that. I don't want to accidentally give them Searing Blaze triggers, so let's play this. Then I'll play a land and pass the turn, and then my plan is chump here, shoot this. Activating this. So if I do this now, they have to activate it again. They have some kind of spell that they're going to use to shoot us. All right, it's fine. Yeah, that resolves. Bolt us. Okay. Vortex, they go to 7. Combat, swing with Goblin Guide, trigger, Haywire Might on top, block here, activate Rolling Vortex, shoot this. So then they can just activate it again. Yeah, activate again. We don't gain any life. Then the Vortex gets killed. Bolt us. Well, why are we screwing around, opponent? Yeah, you got it, because I don't have a card to pitch to Solitude. All right, I think probably the same deal. Maybe March is a little bit more useful than I think it is. Probably don't have the time to mess with that. All right, let us run this. All right, game 3 on the play against Burn with Martyr Proc. I have a Fog, I have a Solitude, but other than that, it's kind of slow. I really need to have an opening hand that's got like the loop to gain all the life out of range. Yeah, Mull. Well, only a single colorless land isn't going to do it. Go to 5. All right. Man, that's slow, but okay. Keep, throw back, Fog Kami, and the Thraben Inspector is honestly probably too slow. But I might need it just to draw cards to get to more mana. Such an awkward hand. All right, if I don't draw lands with this hand, I'm dead anyway. So let's just throw back March. Let's play Myria. Pass. Backcleave Cliffs. Goblin Guide. Well, we're going to have to Solitude this. I actually want lands, though, so give me a land. Not a land. All right, I'm not going to Solitude it right now because it's a Squadron Hawk on top. So we'll go to 16, and then unfortunately I have to shock this in. Squadron Hawk, get the other Squadron Hawks. Pass the turn. I just need them to gain me life, so I'm fine chumping, or gain me lands, rather, so I'm fine just chumping here. Or just casting Solitude on it, if need be. Sacred Foundry, shock. All right, well, there's the obnoxious Bowmasters. Yep, that dies. Combat. It is a land. All right, so let's cast this, exiling a Squadron Hawk, so that I can eat this to take less damage. And then I can go Skyclave on Bowmasters. All right, back to them. Unfortunately, they still have plenty of cards in their hand, and we're at 16, and our hand's pretty bad. Swing. So if they have another Bowmasters, they just shoot it. Or Searing Blaze, I guess. But what else am I going to do? Yeah, block. I guess they could just have Bowmasters to grow it as well, yeah. At least I trade with this, and then they're left with a 2-2 Illusion and Bowmasters. So then they get the 2-2. Ooh, Martyr Sands. Oh, it's so awkward. Land. So if I play this and gain the life right now, I gain 9, and then I have to play Hawk Thraben. So I do have to take damage here. No. So then I just play Thraben and... So let's just go Martyr, Thraben Inspector, trigger this. Maybe I just get as many creatures... It's just such an awkward... All right, fetch, grab a Plains, play Squadron Hawk. Just get as much out as I can. Pass it back. So now I can double block here, or I can block Bowmasters. Swift Spear. Swing with everything. Block this, and that's it. Cast Searing Blaze, targeting Martyr. Sure. So then we go to 7, but at least the Bowmasters is dead. Ooh, Fog. All right. So I need to draw out of this, so that's not going to do it. So just play everything else. Squadron Hawk. No. Play Kami. I don't really want to sack the Kami here. I'd rather just trade with stuff. Yeah, swing, swing. So let's go. Let's block here and block here. I guess they're going to cast a spell, right? So I'm fine trading my whole board. And if they just cast a spell, then I just sack the Kami and then I get to retain more creatures. Searing Blaze on the Hawk. All right, sack this. So then Hawk dies. We go to 6 and then these bump. But I really need to draw out of this. Skewer the Critics. We're at 3. We drew a freaking land. All right. Kill that while they can't draw with it. Play land, go. So they just have any burn spell, we lose. Yep. All right. How does Martyr Proc lose to burn? Well, it happens by getting flooded in one game and then mulling to 5 in another game. If I'd kept my opening hand, it would have just been Hawk, Hawk, Solitude, like nothing going on with that hand either. On to round 4. All right, round 4 on the play. Only one land and it's colorless. Mulligan. Better, but there's no engine in this hand, but I'm not going to go to 5. Opponent reveals Gigantha. Keep this, put back one of the Martyrs. Land, Thraben, go. I feel like Thraben Inspector just feels so mediocre. There's got to be a better 1-drop that we can play in that slot. DRC. What am I doing now? I guess I'm just drawing. All right, well, attack them. They play another DRC. I might just have to Solitude both of these. Oh, and Ragavan. Yikes. So I guess I just go... I can't activate Martyr Sands this turn. So I just go Squadron Hawk, fill my hand up with Hawks, just murder these 2 DRCs right now before they can start getting abilities off of them. I think that's probably the best bet. Use this, grab all these Squadron Hawks. I don't want them to start casting spells and then filling their graveyard up and whatnot, so let's just do this now. Kill DRC. Solitude. Squadron Hawk. Eat your Darcies. I guess I may as well play this Martyr now, right? Pass the turn. So they just play a land. Honestly, I would be happier just playing like... Alright, let's kill one of these. Just more Haywire Mites in the main, or Burrington Forge Tender, or... Let's see, Giver of Runes is another 1-drop. Esper Sentinel. Alright, Plains. Let's pass priority, so they have to spend this. Alright, I guess I'll attack them with this Hawk. They're probably playing Shadow, right? Since Gigantha's the reveal, so they don't have Murktide. Alright, let's just play this Hawk. Is Giant Killer in the 75? It is not. Bolts are Martyr. Bauble. Yeah, I would be happier with like plenty of those other 1-drops rather than Thraben Inspector. Oh my god, another land? Alright, well, I guess they're probably playing Death Shadow, so I just shouldn't attack them. Alright, Flooded, go. Another Bauble. Cracks Bloodstained. Alright, Haywire Mite's not going to have any targets in this matchup, so I should fetch a Godless Shrine in case I draw a Call of the Ring. Expressive Iteration. Unholy Heat is in exile. They don't actually have the red to cast it there, right? Alright, fetch. Godless Shrine tapped. Alright, Bauble, trigger on upkeep. What do we draw? Skyclave. Alright, combat. Swing, swing, swing. I'm doing this now so that... I guess there's not any particular reason to do it now as opposed to just playing Skyclave. Alright, land, Skyclave. It doesn't really matter. Kill Ragavan. And our opponent still has 5 cards to our no cards. Now it's 6 cards. Death Shadow. Alright, so it is Death Shadow. DRC with Delirium. Alright, can we draw action now? Kami of False Hope is not action, but I guess I'll cast it. And I can't even waste the air because of this DRC right now, so yeah. Kami, do nothing. Unholy Heat targeting the Skyclave, sure. They get a 1/1 illusion. They adjust attack with DRC, sure. We will take it. We're at 14. They cast Bowmasters, then we're going to lose a guy. Alright, sack this in response. No token for you. They play a land. Skyclave Apparition, so I can Skyclave, probably Death Shadow, and then try to race Darcy. But they're so far away from actually being able to get hit. Go to 9. Blood Crypt. Shocked it in. Okay. Is it Drown in the Lock? Drown in the Lock. Yep. Alright, just pass it back to them. So now I have a 6/6 Shadow that I actually do have to start chumping at some point. This here alone is 9 damage. Scalding Tarn. Alright, attack with both. I'm not going to block either. I'll just go to 5. They could have fetched, but they didn't. Alright, now they're fetching. Mountain. So they have 1 card in hand. Underworld Breach. And they have Bolt in their graveyard. We're dead. Alright, Skyclave. Surgical is a maybe. Definitely March. Wrath of God, I guess, is doable. Wheel of Sun and Moon to stop their Delirium and Breach shenanigans. Haywire Mite basically doesn't have anything it can target except for Breach, so I have to have it exactly on their Breach turn. So I would just rather not have it. This whole fogging and life-gaining plan is not going to work. I would honestly probably rather have a Haywire Mite than Thraben Inspector, but what else can I cut? We're just going to play a grindy game. These block Ragavan at least. So what's the last cut? Just one of these? Alright, submit this. I have some thoughts on this deck, but I'll save it for the wrap-up at the end. Alright, game 2 on the play. I guess I will actually keep this. So fetch land, and then we'll just pass it to the opponent, and we'll fetch Godless Shrine. Steam Vents, Shocked, plays DRC. Alright, I'm just going to march that. Godless Shrine, tapped, pass back to us. March this, back to them. Second land. Alright, that's a Bowmasters or Counterspell hold if I've ever seen one. Alright, let's cast Ranger Captain. They can't drown it with how many cards we have. Fetch and response. Blood Crypt, Shocked. Dress down. Well, that's even rougher. Alright, pass back to the opponent. Thought sees us. Okay, they'll take one of our 2 rings. Alright, they missed their 3rd land drop, so back to us. No reason to attack them as they're a Death Shadow deck. So I could play the 1 ring here, but they're holding up Spell Pierce, so let's instead just play Call of the Ring. I could also sack my Ranger Captain to get it through, but let's just do all this. So that resolves, then we play Squadron Hawk. Use the ability, get the other Hawks, and pass it back. No reason to attack them. Thought sees us. Alright, unfortunate. So they're going to take the ring. Shocking into Steam Vents. They do have to be careful not to go too low. Alright, call the ring trigger. Choose, I don't know, Ranger Captain's my ring bearer. So let's pay 2 to draw. Land. And then I think at this point I probably just start attacking them, and then I can flash Solitude in. I don't know, it's tough. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Squadron Hawks and pass the turn. They're not doing anything is the thing, and they don't even have Bowmasters up. Alright, combat. Swing, swing. Unholy Heat the Hawk. Yeah, so they just don't want to take damage right now. Unholy Heat Ranger Captain. Do they even have Delirium? They do. Alright, well, sack it. Then let's just play 2 Hawks. Then pass to the opponent. Alright, pass directly to us, so let's fetch Temple Garden. Then ring trigger on upkeep, or call the ring trigger on upkeep. Pick a ring bearer. One of the Hawks. I would like to pay life to draw. Bowmasters, okay. That is fine. I would still like to pay 2 life to draw. Oh, I guess I should have solituded that in response. So be it. Well, let's just do it now. Hit this, and pass. Play another land. Fetch. Shocking in Watery Grave. Okay. Drown in the Lock are Solitude. Play Death Shadow. Alright, so I'm just going to Solitude their Death Shadow, and then continue on. Alright, Solitude. Cast this. Exile Death Shadow. Play Thraben, and pass. Plays another land, so they only have potentially 1 card, although they can put Giganta in their hand, I guess. Yeah, Giganta into hand. No attacks with the Orc army. Alright, resolve the Call of the Ring. I will pick Thraben Inspector as my ring bearer. Pay 2 life to draw. So I can play Eagles of the North this turn. That's probably good. Cast Eagles of the North. Trigger. Give my guys +1 power and first strike. Go to combat. Swing, swing. Then ring bearer triggers, so I will loot away a land. They're just not going to block. Alright. So then the ring triggers, they go all the way down to 4 and pass it back. They fetch. They're at 3 now. Their hand is Giganta, 1 unknown. If they have Bowmasters, why didn't they do that in response to me looting? Well, they're literally dead to Eagles in the air, so they have to have drawn an answer to that this turn. Alright, ring. Choose Thraben as my ring bearer again. And yeah, I'll draw. Even though it triggers the Bowmasters, that's fine. Target Solitude, okay. Because then the attack trigger would trigger it again. Another Call of the Ring. Alright, so let's just attack with Eagles and see if they... If I hit them, right? Whenever deals combat damage to a player, they can't block... No, they can block this with Bowmasters. So let's just go to combat, swing with the Eagles. Swing. They did draw an answer to it. Alright, play the ring. Alright, we won that game. Go back to sideboarding. I think this is still correct. It's possible we want Reprieve, though. Raven Inspector is just so bad in this matchup. So bad. We do need some things to find with Ranger Captain, though. Yeah, I just run this back. Game 3 on the draw. We are playing Martyr Proc and our versus Death Shadow Breach. I have the Abiding Grace to keep getting this back. I guess I'll keep. Polluted Delta, fetch, Blood Crypt, turn 1 DRC. Alright, let's go fetch a Plains, play Thraben, pass the turn. There's no way I pitch Solitude here, so I'll just F6 through the turn. Alright, so at this point, if I go land squad, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards left, and then I'm at 8 cards. So instead, let's just play another Thraben Inspector, and then play Emiria, and pass it back. So they fetch Watery Grave. Alright, so looks like they're just passing it back to us after the 3rd land. Yep. Alright, I'm prepared to play the waiting game if they are. So if I play Abiding Grace right now, it probably just gets countered, although they just have Drown in the Lock, so their other card has to be Spell Pierce. Alright, let's just try running it out. So it specifically has to be Spell Pierce. Fetch, Shocking in a Watery Grave, Spell Pierce. Alright, so it's the Spell Pierce. They surveil a DRC to the graveyard. They are still 1 card type off. Mountain. Play Torok. That is lousy. I guess we just Solitude DRC in response and then lose the other 2 cards. Yeah. Exile this. Kill DRC. Then that ability resolves. So then we discard these. Torok becomes a 4/3. And we can't block it. Wheel of Sun and Moon. Alright, let's just deploy that right now. Attach Wheel of Sun and Moon to them and then pass. So this prevents any future Darcies and Breaches from having any value. They play a land. Obviously they attack us and we can't block. Play a land. So they could have Bowmasters up, but what am I going to do? Just not draw? So let's draw. Alright, they didn't have it. So let's draw again. Alright, pass it back to the opponent. No reason to attack them as long as they're a Death Shadow deck. They fetch. Thought sees us, taking our march. And that still triggers Torok. So we're 3-turn clock now. And they clearly have some other kind of action because they're just not putting Giganta in their hand. Alright, so let's stop them in their draw step and just blast their lands. I don't know which lands to hit though. Probably just the Watery Graves. All right, field the Watery Grave. Get the Plains, field the other Watery Grave. All right, they fail to find, so they're out of basics to fetch now. We're still on a 2-turn clock, so I have to find some kind of answer to this on the very next turn. Well, that is not an answer, so that is the game. On to round number 5. All right, round number 5 on the play. This is okay. I'll keep this. Turn 1 Emiria, turn 2 fetch Godless Shrine, play Call, turn 3 Skyclave. Sacred Foundry, Swift Spear. All right, let's just kill that. It's almost certainly burn, so let's just take as little damage as possible. All right, Thraben Inspector, Strand, go. Even though this ring will cause me to take damage if I draw with it. Lava Spike, we go to 17. Skewer, we go to 14. Fetch, Godless Shrine, tapped, back to us. All right, call the ring, play the other Emiria, and then just pass the turn. Mountain, Swift Spear. All right, I will block. They'll have a spell, but just save damage. Boros Charm, we go to 9, this dies. All right, we can't choose a Ring Bearer, so this trigger fizzles. Martyr of Sands, but we've got no other white cards in our hand, so draw with the clue. That doesn't work either, so let's just play this, and I guess we're just gonna chump Swift Spear and then gain 3 life. Sunbait Canyon, Searing Blaze, activate, reveal this, back up to 12, and then back down to 9. Then Swift Spear hits us, and we go to 7 or more if they have another spell. They also have Skewer, so we go to 3. Ring, we can't choose a Ring Bearer. Solitude works. Pass it back. So we have to fade a burn spell this turn. Drawing with Sunbaked, plays a land, dash Ragavan. Oh, this is going to be sweet. Oh, you're not going to attack? Yeah, there we go. Solitude. Eat Ragavan, block to gain 3 life. Take this burn. And we got burned the first game. All right, game 2. Haywire, gain some life. Skyclave. March of Otherworldly Light to kill their early guys. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Hurts us. All right, submit. Game 2 on the draw against Burn. We have 2 lands, one of which is Martyr of Sands. All right, keep Shotgun a Sacred Foundry. Play Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide, are we going to draw a land? We do draw a land. So what am I doing next turn? I'm going up to 9 cards, and then I'm going land, Haywire, Might, pass. I gain more life if I just Martyr next turn. So I'll take 2, go to 18. All right, back to us. Land, Haywire, Might, pass the turn. Sacred Foundry, Shocked an N, and then they're going to attack again. We go to another land. All right, chump block this to gain 2. In response, Skullcrack, sure. All right, back to our turn. So let's just play Martyr and crack it instantly. Crack, reveal these 3, and pass it back to them. And then I'll probably just Solitude this. Maybe not, though. I can just March it as well. I can just March it next turn, yeah. I'm just not Solituding it. Haywire Might on top. 22. So yeah, then I just go tap Emiria, March the Goblin. Or do I just play Haywire Might? I'm not sure. Yeah, just play this tapped, go. So I think I can probably hard cast Solitude this game, so we'll just hold it. End of turn, Skullcrack us. Very well. Swift Spear. Lava Spike to grow its power. Very well. Then the attacks. We get the guide trigger. Do we draw land? No, 1 ring is on top. All right. March the Swift Spear. And then we'll take 2 to 14. And then I don't even have to do anything this turn. Let's just play the ring. Get Fogged Burn. Casting Swift Spear. And then obviously they're not going to attack us. All right, I will draw. Call me a false hope. Take 1 from the ring. Go to 13. All right, I'm just going to flash in Solitude, so pass it back. Another Swift Spear. So they're holding up a... Oh, no, they're just not attacking. All right, cast Solitude. Exile Swift Spear. All right, we got it. All right, 3 and 2 with Martyr proc. So I have some issues with this deck, and then I think... So here's my issues with it. Everything on this side of the deck is good. Everything on this side of the deck is bad. I think fundamentally... the Martyr of Sands loop plan or the fog loop plan where you're just gaining life or fogging your opponent every turn is just something that fundamentally doesn't work anymore. Aggro decks that this is supposedly good against, like Burn, are usually just too fast for this to even function. And any other decks can just accrue a superior board presence, and then it doesn't matter if you're fogging every turn. Plus, every deck now has answers to every permanent, so Abiding Grace is not guaranteed to stick on the board. Thraben Inspector is, I don't even think, a playable modern card anymore, especially with Bowmasters in the format. So even like the Squadron Hawk plan where, yeah, okay, you grab your extra Hawks and then they're free fodder for Solitude doesn't feel that great to begin with. So I think the game plan of the deck is fundamentally flawed. And the games, and that was proven out in the games that we played, where The games that we played, we never won because we were able to loop Martyr with Abiding Grace, or because we had a fog over and over. We won because we accrued more value than the opponent through Sarah Paragon, through drawing with the ring, through Elish Norn. So I think that the fundamental way that this deck is constructed no longer functions.